Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday morning, Taco Tuesday here in East Tennessee, and I'm hoping you're all having a wonderful, wonderful morning so far. It's 9:23 in the morning, and you are watching the Kaiser Report. I'm John, and thank you for coming back to the channel. We really appreciate it. Anyway, I guess the big news today is that Joe Biden, while he was campaigning in Los Angeles the other day with all of the glittery and special people that he has aligned himself with, the Hollywood types, to raise money for his campaign. His Secret Service agent was robbed at gunpoint in Los Angeles, just to top off the fact that the crime in this country is out of control while he's hanging out with actors and actresses that mean nothing to anyone other than the fact that they're good at playing other people. Anyway, if you want to be led around by the nose by Hollywood types, then you probably need to seek some help somewhere, because these people put on their pants the same way you do, and they bring nothing special to the table. They are all multimillionaires, and this is where Biden is aligning himself with, while pointing the finger at his competition, saying, well, they're all, they're just worried about taking care of the millionaires. Well, that is not true. And if you believe that it's true, then you're watching too much mainstream media, because they carry the banner for this type of elite people that think you are a lesser person than you really should be considered to be. And that is quite evident in the way that they act in and around the political bunch. Their big claim to fame is that they could sleep at the White House at one point, but Biden doesn't spend enough time in the White House to invite them over to stay over in the Lincoln bedroom.
You hearing this?
He has spent, during his administration, over 45% of the time on vacation or hiding out at the beach in Delaware. Don't take my word for it. It's readily available through fact-checking. So they're not getting to stay in the Lincoln bedroom, but no one knows what else they're being promised or how much they're being paid to support a single party in this election race. Misleading GOP videos of Biden are going viral. And these are the things where he's frozen or has to be led off a stage, and the White House is now fighting it, saying that they're having trouble keeping up with all the fact-checking. Well, it's evident, and we see it. We looked on the TV, and you can see it before your very eyes. He is not the person he was back then, and he never was really any good to begin with, but at least he could walk around and put a sentence together. He has problems, and it's dementia-related problems, and all of the experts and doctors that are looking at this on every program that puts it up are in agreement that it is the signs of early and mid-stage dementia. This is what's running to be your president again for another 4 years. After the 4 disastrous years of an open border, and now he announces he's doing another executive order for 500,000 of the illegal people that are claiming to be part of a citizen's family, complete forgiveness, and making them to where they cannot be deported.
What kind of shit is that?
Because he needs their votes. It's pure and simple. Whoever's driving the White House has planned this. It's obvious. It's evident. It's before your very eyes. Not only that, he wants to give citizenship away to asylum seekers that have broken into this country illegally.
Are you for real?
And I don't care how you paint it, how you cover it up, or how you spin it. This is an illegal invasion of our land. And with it came crime, drugs, murderers, insane people, and people who were jailed in their own countries, and they emptied their jails to our southern border and were welcomed in with open arms and provided money, cell phones, and transportation to the city of their choice, as long as it's a sanctuary city. And then look what's happened. The cities that we used to save to go on vacation to, such as Chicago, the second city, New York, the greatest city in the world at one time, Los Angeles, the home of Hollywood, San Francisco, that city by the bay that was gorgeous, all not a destination for most of us any longer because of fear, chaos, and homeless situations brought about by an influx of migrants that came into this country illegally, unvetted, unvaccinated, and unchecked, with criminal records. We're waking up to this fact on a day-to-day basis. Every day we hear more and more horror stories about what an illegal has done. Just today, on this morning's news, an illegal took 2 young girls in a park and raped them and told them to stay put for 20 minutes and left them there. This is the type of individuals that are pouring into your southern border. They're certainly not doctors, lawyers, engineers, or even crop pickers. They're criminals. And we've allowed them in with a free pass and paid them. This is what Joe Biden has done to this country and whoever is behind him running the show. The elites are now the Democratic Party who care nothing about you, me, or any other citizen in this country. They care about lining their pockets, getting their bills passed to benefit them, lying to you on a daily basis about what's really going on, and making us a laughingstock of the world. They're all watching. They're all preparing because they know we've lost our strength. And they know also that we've lost our position of power in the world that we once dominated. We have to start to pray daily for help from God to save this country. And we have one chance and one chance only coming in November, no matter who they replace Joe Biden with, because that's coming next. There'll be something coming. They've got it planned. They know what they're going to do, and we have to be the wiser. We need to make sure that they don't get their way. We need to make sure that we elect the proper person to fix what's going on and what's going on wrong in this country. And we have to watch them and hold their feet to the fire to keep their promises to fix these things. We have a very corrupt system right now with this particular administration. There was a bill coming to the floor that was backed by a bipartisan bunch that would hold the ethics to your congressperson and your senators about their gifts, about money made while they're in office, tax returns for 2 years after they leave office, and so on and so forth. Joe Biden called the 3 leaders of this bill to the White House and convinced them that they needed to withdraw their support on this. Why? Because this administration would be the first to be held accountable under that new law. What are we hiding? We know what Joe is hiding. We know about the Biden crime family. We have had it put before our faces and covered up at the same day they announce it. The Hunter laptop, it contains all they need to prove what really happened. But they're going to walk away with it because there's 2-tiered justice system in this country now that has been put in place, starting with Obama and continuing through Obama's 3rd term, which we're in the middle of right now, and now he's looking for a 4th term. Why do you think he's out on the campaign trail? I found it very interesting that the other one of the 3 amigos, Bill Clinton, didn't make this fundraiser in L.A. Wonder why. We know there's something going on with the Clintons. They're not going to let this election happen without interfering in some way, some fashion, some form. They will be involved, especially Hillary, because her hate and discontent with not only this country, but with Donald Trump is a sickness with her. And it will continue that way, especially if he stays in the race. They've tried everything to knock it out. I don't know that they're going to be successful at it other than jailing him. And I think based on the fact that the New York thing happened and people from a grassroots donated over $70 million to him, that should tell you something. I think there's some rigging going on in some of the swing states that are trying to be manipulated. Whether or not they're successful at it, we won't know until we see it. Which brings us to wondering if Joe will even make it after this debate coming up, or will that even take place? Let me know what you're thinking about all of this that's going on. Use the comment section below and let me know what your thoughts are on this so I can field that for you and maybe get some ideas from you about what you're thinking and what does America believe anymore. You can't believe a state-run legacy media any longer because if you turn on MSNBC and Morning Joe, you're going to get a face full of lies and innuendos that are not half-truths. They're just out-and-out lies. Joe Scarborough has lost his mind. And Mika, it's doubtful that she ever had one. Well, it's going to be a lousy rest of this 5 months going into this election, and the surprises are around the corner. We can't filter through them all and figure it out until it happens. But the executive orders will come hot and heavy now because he wants to get his agendas through before, if by some chance he doesn't get reelected or somebody else takes charge. I don't know what they're going to do with Kamala Harris, because that's a fire that they're going to throw gasoline on for sure if they try dumping her. These diversity hires that are in there now, if they lose their jobs, they'll be weeping and gnashing of teeth in the aisles. So I guess we just have to wait and see. But we need to pray for assistance and guidance from God in how we're going to handle this situation come November, how we're going to vote, who we're going to vote for. There are other candidates that we're not being allowed to listen to. In this, they talk all the time about their First Amendment rights, but yet they go out of their way to block a candidate that has his or her name on the ticket to run for president of these United States. Where is the fairness in that? I think it's time to reorganize the party system that we're experiencing here right now, because it's gotten so corrupt and so out of hand that no one knows what the other hand is doing. Again, tell us what you think about this. An awful lot of people in this country are having a very, very difficult time making ends meet right now. Even people working 2 and 3 part-time jobs to try to keep up a level or a monicum of existence in this country has gotten worse every year of the Biden administration. It is plain and simple. Bidenomics was a joke that did not work. And we see it now. To cancel our energy systems throughout this United States and depend on foreign oils and foreign gas is crazy. It was a lunatic move to make. And it was made by someone that is obviously not fit for this job, and certainly is no longer fit to stay in this job. It's evident to us all now, thanks to people with cameras and platforms such as YouTube and Rumble, and even the mainstream media now is starting to show some things that are not very complimentary to Mr. Biden. But Kareem Jean-Pierre has an answer for it all. He was just listening to the music. When is it a crime not to dance? Seriously? Walking off in the wrong direction, having someone land in a parachute 3.5 feet from you, then you don't notice it and then look the other way? What does that have to do with dancing? We need people with a background and the experience to take over the job of running this country and do it correctly and do it with their constituents in mind and not their pockets in mind. It's not going to get easier in the next few months. The ugly campaign ads are going to start to come out on all sides. I can feel it already. All this nonsense that's going on in these Senate hearings with Fauci over the vaccine issue and the COVID issue, all a distraction. This government wants chaos in the streets. This is the reason you have that many criminals running around in your major cities. They want to bank on your fear of making an improper decision so they can continue to stay in the seat of power which they have abused and screwed up for the last 3.5 years. Longer if you go back all the way through to the Bush administration, the last Bush administration, you will see the progression of the woke ideology that has taken hold in the diversity hires that are in the White House right now with no ability or experience to do the jobs that they're in. They're plodding through it and taking orders from we don't know who and getting away with criminal activity. Will they be prosecuted? Absolutely not. We only prosecute our opponents right now. Do you want to run down another candidate? Look what they're doing to RFK Jr. Why are they not in this debate? Why is Jill Stein not in the debate? What are they afraid of? So we ask ourselves this question as we contemplate who we're going to vote for come November. And as I said time and time again, the down ballot of this election is just as important as the top of the ticket that you're going to vote on. Because we have a lot of corruption in our Congress and we have a lot of corruption in our Senate. And it has been that way for a while, and now it's in your face. Schumer needs to go home. He's not a benefit to anyone in his area in New York or in this country. He's done more harm than good, always has. And we need to extract ourselves from these commitments to third world countries that we support and wars in other countries that we have no business being involved in. Let them handle their own wars. And certainly do not send our sons and daughters into harm's way so you can get mineral rights someplace and the ability to broker those mineral rights. That's what this whole Ukraine thing is about. Lindsey Graham let that out of the bag last week. We have a military that is having problem with recruitment. Why? Because they made the military branches diversified and all-inclusive. That's a problem. Our adversaries throughout the world, mainly North Korea, China, Russia, are watching us deteriorate into a point where they feel safe to come in and take over. That's how they operate. Are we all being told that we can't do anything about it, or that their process in doing what they're doing about it is correct? I don't think so. Putin is on his way to North Korea as we speak to have a meeting with Kim Jong-il. That worry anybody? It worries me. He's already got a pact with China. If he ties in North Korea into this, it's a matter of time before Taiwan gets taken over, and there goes all our chips for AI and everything else related to it, because we, in our infinite wisdom, decided that it is better off to move everything out of Silicon Valley and move it offshore because it's cheaper. We've done this throughout the ages, and both parties are guilty of this. It's not just the Democrats. The Democrats have refined it to a point where it works for them. But we don't have our own capabilities any longer. And it needs to be brought back here. Our steel industry needs to be brought back. Our automobile industry needs to be brought back to top levels. Our oil dependency needs to go away, and we need to refine our own products here. Call me an isolationist if you will, but this is what is going to work to save this country. And on that, I think that's enough for today. We're busy today on the farm. We're waiting for some rain to come in. It's awfully dry right now, and when it gets this dry, we worry about forest fires and things of that nature. But we're going to say to you goodbye today. But remember, we do have a sponsor here. You'll see their ad at the end of this video. It's Lazy J Farms, and please remember, if you're barbecuing on the weekend, get your meats there because they are to die for. Good meat. And they have it all. Chicken, beef, everything that you need. And watch for that video, so it'll be run at the end of this program. So thanks for tuning in today, and we love you here at the Kaiser Report. And please, if you haven't subscribed, we depend on your subscriptions to survive here. So please do, and always comment in the area below, and have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday wherever you are. God bless you all. Bye-bye now. Now a word from our sponsor, Lazy J Farms.
Lazy J Farms has been raising the finest cattle and all-natural pork for 3 generations on the family farm in Fall Branch. Their blonde Aquitaine herd offers a leaner, healthier, and more tasteful beef. And the butcher shop is local, farm to table, and 100% authentic. This is the way your grandfather shot for me, with steaks cut to order, quality assured, and ready to ship to your door. Open Thursday through Saturday on Bloomingdale Road in Kingsport. Come see us.